G'day, everyone. Welcome back to the Toon podcast, the Southern Hemisphere's biggest and best podcast. All things Newcastle United. It's been a while. I've had some shit on, but thankfully I'm back. Some people might not say thankfully, but I'm thankful I'm back. I'm here with Craig. We're here to unpack the biggest Champions League victory in the club's history against Union Saint-Gilloise. Craig, I think that's the official pronunciation. I'm going to go with USG for the rest of the night because I can't be bothered saying that every time we want to mention them. How are you, mate?
Well, you can probably tell by my eyes that I was up at stupid o'clock watching the match. It was a 2:45 kickoff.
Yeah.
Watched the game. AM for us, yeah. Watched the game. Probably went to sleep maybe 45 minutes to an hour later, and then up 90 minutes later for work. So my eyes literally feel like pistols in the snow. But to be honest, a 4-0 win, I'm all the better for it. It was fucking marvellous, wasn't it?
It was. It was, and I'll get this out from the jump. I did not get up at 2:45 and watched it. I was a semi-smart person and got up at 5:30 and watched it. Put my phone on Do Not Disturb, so I didn't see anything from the group chat. Didn't see any other messages that other mates might have sent through about the game. Just got up, watched it on my own accord, which is not too bad, actually, because you can kind of fast forward the shit a little bit, like when balls go out for corners and throw-ins and things like that. You can kind of get through it reasonably quick, like maybe in a bit over an hour. So it's actually not too bad. But, yeah, I consumed it on delay, but still, yeah, didn't know what the score was, what had happened or anything like that. So doesn't matter, mate. We all watch the same stuff. So we'll get stuck into it straight away. I must say I was a little bit surprised by the lineup. I thought there might have been a little bit more change from the Arsenal game into this one. Given the Arsenal game went to the wire, it was a hard game and everything like that. But really, the only unforced change was Murphy out and Alanga in. Obviously, Tino out with that knee injury, which is not great, but he's pretty great at the same time. Reports of 6 to 8 weeks, which, yeah, there were fears of an ACL, which probably meant about 12 months out, which would be absolutely shocking for him and for the club and stuff like that. But 6 to 8 weeks, which might equate to maybe 10 games with that international break as well. So, yeah, not great, but could be worse. So Trippier come back in for him. And, yeah, Murphy out and Alanga in. We'll get on to Alanga a little bit later. I thought he was really, really good. I was going to say last night, but this morning, whichever way you want to dress it up. How did you feel about the lineup, mate? Did you think Lewis Hall would start, or was I kind of a bit... Yeah, that's all. I'm glad I didn't think that as well. Well, I didn't.
Especially when found out he was being kept just to keep minutes in the tank effectively for this game, because obviously he wasn't even on the bench for the Arsenal lot. So I think, yeah, he's going to come in and start and line up, not a problem at all. But clearly not. Maybe he's still not 100% to give maybe a full hour, 70 minutes, whatever it would be from the get-go. But, yeah, I was very surprised he didn't start. Dan Burn at left back. A lot of people have got a lot of worry when he comes into that position, but, you know, he's literally the man mountain as he is. He's a brick wall. Yeah, he got burned once or twice during this game, but other than that, he was very solid, as he has been for the past 18 months or so.
Yeah, it's interesting. So he was arguably a player of the season last season, Dan Burn. Where does he fit now? Like, has he been kind of shuffled into that left back position with Lewis Hall, or is he like is Chow and Botman our preferred centre back pairing now? Like, how do you think this is all going to work?
I think Chow and Botman were always going to be the preferred centre back choice, purely because of the fact that they are younger, they've got more skill set amongst the two of them on there, and also Shaw and Burn, as good as they are getting on a little bit. And Shaw is obviously, he gets more concussions than a UFC fighter these days. So
good to see him back on the bench too today. And
it was, yes, good to see him
back. Yeah.
But yeah, Shaw, as much as I love him, he's just getting on a little bit too now. In some of his decision making, is a little bit sus every now and again. But yeah, I think the preferred is Botman and Chowie. And if we're looking at right back position, if Hall was fit, you probably would have slotted Tino in there if he was fit, because Trips, he's not good enough to, he's certainly good in terms of ability, but in terms of his stamina, he can't do 3 games in a week. He's just not that type of player anymore. So I think once everyone is back, you will see the likes of Tino, Botman, Chow, and Hall across the back four. I think that will be set once everyone's back. And Burn left back or left centre back cover.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do. Like you said, like as good as Trips is, he's just at that point now where he can't sustain 3 games in a week and stuff like that. So they kind of keep the back four and Kraft comes in for right back cover now, or do they kind of switch it up sometimes and play with the back threes to sort of shoehorn Burn, Botman and Chow in there? So it's going to be interesting to see how they kind of go about it. And they're obviously no doubt working different scenarios out on the training pitches and figuring out how they can make it work and how they can change things depending on, who's playing, who's available, what their levels are and things like that. But yeah, it's definitely I've enjoyed it. Like, we haven't had this depth for a long time. So I enjoy seeing what comes out each game, especially with the games coming thick and fast at the moment. It's kind of, it's like, oh, what are they going to do today and all that. So yeah, that's what I'm enjoying about it. We'll get stuck into the game, mate. First half, I thought we dominated.
We did.
I thought we were clearly the better team. Tonali seemed to be everywhere, as he has been probably all season. He's just an absolute phenom, that man, with his running ability and his ability to back up game after game as well. It's frightening. But bloke I want to talk about first is Big Nick. We were sort of, I wouldn't say we were told, but when the player sort of, not reviews, but player, I guess, when he signed, hey, this is what he is, this is what he's good at, blah, blah, blah. And we've seen some highlights, read some stories, looked at some stats and graphs and all that. It didn't seem right that a bloke that big was more of a ball-playing striker than a Peter Crouch type striker. And I reckon we'd seen little glimpses of it sort of in each game he played, but that game last night there was a few moments, not just in the first half, but in the second half too. I was kind of like, holy shit, how did he do that?
Yeah. There was one bit, I think it was halfway through the second half, just before he came off, I think it was, where he had 3 or 4 people around him.
Circle.
Yes, and he just danced around them as if he weren't even there. God. I was like, wait a minute, how did he even do that? I actually had to rejig my mind and think, did that just happen? Did he get a fluky deflection? And it showed the replay, and that was all his own skill and ability to get himself out of trouble, and it was mind-blowingly superb for how good that little passage of play was from himself. Got himself in a bit of bother, but he got himself absolutely out of it as well. He's one hell of a player, isn't he?
Oh, mate. And that's the beauty of watching it on delay. You can rewind it again and go, what the hell did he just do then? And you watch it again, you're like, oh, my God, like, how did he do that? And the more I watch the goal, the more I tend to believe he actually meant that.
Now, I'd agree with that. Aye.
Tonali's, the fact that he didn't even take a touch from that clearance sort of says a little bit about him and how good he's feeling about himself at the moment, where he's happy to hit that first time coming out. But it's the shot from behind Nick Pope's goal, the camera angle from there, that you can actually see him try and flick it. Now, Tonali's probably one of the hardest shot hitters I've seen at the club. Like, he laces them. He's not the great. I think Shearer and probably off the top of my head, Lauren Rivera are probably the two.
Or by Martins as well.
Yeah, he could hit him too, eh? He'd be top 5, I reckon. Tonali would be top 5 in terms of power when he has a shot. He did, like I said, he didn't lace this one, but there was still a little bit on it, and his reaction time wasn't that great. So for him to actually get that flick on is crazy. And yeah, like I said, I think it took a few replays to actually work out who did it come off.
Yeah.
Did it come off him? Did it come off the USG player? And I'm glad he got credited with the goal as well, because it's going to do his confidence a world of good. But it's that behind the goal shot from behind Pope's goal where it does look like he's actually tried to flick it. It's crazy, mate. Like, guys that size shouldn't be doing things like that.
It's not only just to do that when you've got a little bit of time, because I don't even remember, it was a back heel flick goal from Jose Perez a good number of years ago. I can't remember who the opposition was.
Was it Spurs, maybe? I
might
don't
have
know.
been Spurs, yeah. Might have
Sounds
been.
like a Spursy thing. And did we have the green shorts kit on?
Yes, we
The
did.
dark blue one?
Blue and green.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Remy Cabela set him up, something like it.
Yeah.
If I remember rightly. But he had all the time in the world as the ball came towards him to what he wanted to do in that one. He could have took a touch. He could have done that 3 or 4 times if he wanted to. But this was not even split-second decision-making for him to literally get his ankle, his side foot, whatever it was, to make the contact, to flick it on, to have the ability not only to do that, but to respond in such a quick time with said ability is just on another level. And it just goes to show these players, when you're good or you're very good, your level is way above the competition. And I don't think there's many other players around there that could have done that, especially not in our squad. Maybe Bruno, and we'll get on to Bruno's other flick, because I know that's a contentious topic between me and you.
Don't start.
But yeah, I do think he meant it. It was absolutely superb. Split-second decision-making. The only thing is, when it went in, I thought because it came off Nick, I thought he may have been in an offside position at first, but clearly he wasn't.
Yeah.
Which could have that would have ruled the goal out, unless it came off the defender. But it was a cracking effort and well worthy to take us 1-0 up. And keeper stood there flat-footed, couldn't do a single thing about it. And that's 3 goals in 3 starts, I believe.
Yeah. Do you know what's funny too? That it looked, he was almost, it felt like he was a little bit apologetic to Tonali after the goal, and he kind of went side like, yeah, that was mine. Like, I actually got my hand on that, and a bit of sorry in that. But then he's trying to take the penalties when he wasn't the penalty taker. So it was kind of funny how he's kind of, oh, sorry, like, that was mine, but sorry. Yeah. And then gets the penalties, and it's like, no, I'll take it. And no, look, Gordon's the penalty taker. He's going to take him. So it was kind of funny how he went through the 2 different emotions. Very impressed too how he drops deep to receive the ball and allows the wingers to kind of get in front of him and play him in and stuff like that. He's a very all-round striker, I reckon. Like, he's good at linking up, and probably, as we've seen in the last couple of games, his finishing's not too bad as well.
The Bayern Munich CEO can suck a fat one, can't he?
Jesus.
For his comments over the last few days, and I think goals like that are just proving him wrong as well. He's obviously a bitter little bloke, because he didn't get what Bayern normally get when it comes to players from the Bundesliga. So he spat his gum in that one. But yeah, as of right now, he's shown every single pound of that transfer fee that we paid for him. However, it's 69 million pounds, whatever it was. So far, he's looking worth every pound of it. It's class.
Yeah. And like Eddie said before in the pre-game presser, it's not. That's what the market dictated. It wasn't like Newcastle just throwing a figure out. That's what it took to get the deal done. Like, you can't sort of do anything about it. And yeah, he's as happy as bloody banging his shin on a toe ball, the Bayern Munich bloke. Like, what a barrel of fun he'd be at a party. But I reckon that's why he's upset, because he knows what they've missed out on, and he's just trying to play it down and just try to sort of make every excuse under the sun why they didn't do the deal, and kind of try and chop him down at the same time, because he knows what he's going to be and what he's going to turn into. So, yeah, like you said, mate, sucker fart to him, and I hope he's miserable for the rest of his life. And the first penalty, mate, I must admit too, I was a bit shocked this was a penalty.
The Yalanga one?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Not that it wasn't a foul. On first instinct, I thought he was just outside the box, and I didn't probably realise it until replay that he was inside. Like, it was no doubt a foul. Like, no doubt about that. I thought it was a free kick, and I'm like, did he point for a free kick or did he point to the penalty spot? Like, hang on a second. And then it's hard. The commentator's name. I don't
Jonathan
know
Pierce.
who he is. It kind of felt like he was commentating it from a studio in the UK, because there was a little bit of uncertainty and things like that. Even with the second one, which we'll get to in a minute, like, he's obviously still hooked up to the assistant referee, and he can hear the communication between them. And because he did say, "Oh, I believe they're looking at this for a possible foul or handball or whatever." I think he said both, which I'm still not sure what they actually paid it for. Whether it was the foul, the second one, the foul, or the handball.
I will have to believe, but I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, but the first one, it was, like I said, no doubt a foul. But first glance, I thought it was a free kick because I didn't realise he was in. But what did you think about Gordon on pens? Was that something that you
Unexpected.
thought who would probably be?
I thought maybe. I mean, Big Nick is your obvious choice because he's your outright striker. But maybe Bruno or Tonali. Tonali, he has taken penalty kicks on the international stage before. Whether or not he's any good at taking a penalty, I honestly don't know. But, when you're an Italian international, it comes with the pressure. So if he's going to slot it in on one of the biggest stages, you want one of your biggest players. And Tonali is definitely one of those.
Just beat the shit out of it like you do with every other shot. It'd be fine.
Well, yeah. But yeah, Gordon was a surprise considering he missed his last penalty, albeit that was best part of a year ago, I think it was, when it was at Everton, and the T-Rex decided to save it, unfortunately. But yeah, it was a very, very good pen, given the pressure, given the circumstances, and it was at a crucial time of the game as well, just before half-time.
Massive. Yeah, absolutely. And they probably deserve to be 2-0 up. I think on the balance of play, and you could argue maybe 2 lucky goals with a penalty and Big Nick pulling one out his little balloon knot. But they come out after half time, breathing fire. Like they were up and about, especially the first probably, 10 minutes after half time. Nick Pope made a few saves. None really that what I would say were world class.
There was one shot which had an awkward bounce in front of him, but apart from that, everything else
he pushed away, which was fine. Yeah,
they were just meat and potatoes for him. It was pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I especially liked, I've put in the group chat this morning, the Happy Gilmore one where he just stood there and copped it in the chest, didn't think about using his hands or anything else. He just sort of stood there and then hit it. That was probably my personal favourite one. But yeah, they like I said, they come out huffed and puffed at the start of the half, but they couldn't sort of stay in the score sheet. And then the second penalty, mate, like
soft as.
That's not a pen. We can't.
No, it's not.
The shit that we didn't get on the weekend.
Yeah.
And then you're paying that. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, we all know the pain of being given a shit penalty decision in the Champions League when it blatantly isn't. We'll rewind 2 years ago to PSG with the Tino handball. Yeah. So we feel USG's pain in that one. Because I don't think anybody would say that was a Stonewall penalty because it clearly wasn't. If you're going to give a penalty for the slightest little shirt pull or anything, then you're going to give penalties every time there's two players making contact. Free kick, everywhere over the pitch. The game will never have any flow to it at all. That was never a penalty. You should never have been. But we've been on the dodgy end of receiving those. So, they say karma's a bitch and it will come around and get you. And maybe that was our positive side of a negative I think 2 years ago.
Yeah, I was gobsmacked. It was weird because in the live play, Voldemade, and I can't remember who the other player was with him. They both kind of stuck their hand up for handball.
Yeah.
Straight away, and then play continued, and didn't think anything of it. And then it wasn't until the ball nearly went down the other end that the commentator mentioned, "Oh, they're having a VAR check," and I'm like, "Oh, maybe it was handball then. Like maybe they were onto something." But they weren't super aggressive towards the referee,
no, they weren't
appealing for it. They just shout, "Hey, handball," but play went on. So, and then I'm watching the replay again, and I'm going, no, surely
Oh,
no. Like even if it was for the handball, they're both as bad as each other. Like it was a shocking call. I'd be fuming if I was a USG
yeah,
fan.
absolutely. Couldn't agree more with that one. Shocking
Yeah.
decision. Should never have happened. The game should have still been 2-0 at that point. But, you got to take the rough with the smooth. We've been on the bad end of those decisions. We will be on the bad end of those decisions again sometime in the near future. And sometimes luck just goes your way, and that's exactly what that was.
Yeah. And Gordon, to his credit, put it away again. The keeper, I was actually thinking if I was
He
the
just fell over,
keeper,
didn't he?
well, he went late. He waited in the middle. I reckon he thought he was going to go up the middle, and so did I. I don't know why I thought he was going to go up the middle too. So when the keeper stayed, I thought, mate, I probably would have done the same thing. And then when you watch the replay, he dives after the ball's gone past him, like, just to make it look like he actually had a crack. But what I didn't mind either, mate, towards the back end of this game, and I know the game's over and we were going to win and stuff like that, I didn't mind Asula's little cameo for 20
Very
minutes
good.
at the end.
Yeah.
Were you kind of thinking the same thing?
Yeah. I think on the build up to Bonds' goal,
He was
which no doubt we'll touch on,
fantastic.
he was. He had his head up. He was looking. His vision
Yeah.
was accurate.
He
He
held
was
the ball
using
up
his pace.
well, and that
He was
initial when
strong.
it got past to him, he held it up well,
Yeah.
turned and yeah, like you said, control, head up, made the right decision,
Hmm.
and yeah, I thought he was good.
He was. And as far as he is right now as a number two, he's a pretty good option. He scored goals in the Carabao Cup. He got the one against Liverpool. He's got an assist there tonight. So he's already contributed more this season than he has for the whole of last season, albeit he didn't feature very much. But still, over what was a 40-plus game year, he's already surpassed that expectations, and by a fair margin as well, I'd say. Looked like his jackpot has Asula been howed. Could very well be the case.
Yeah, he might have, but we're not going to see much of it. I've just got a feeling we'll get stuck into maybe what the next sort of 2 or 3 weeks look like just quickly when we're done. But yeah, I don't. He might be, but we probably won't see the fruits of it much because I think Whistle will come back and he'll kind of get knocked down a little bit further. But with the games coming thick and fast, there might be games where Whistle just doesn't play, and
Yeah.
he's the number 2 again. Which things like this they have to be good for his confidence, and I think. Gordon getting 2 goals and other penalties, but him getting 2 goals, he nearly had that one that Alanga crossed in where he
Yeah,
kind
he
of
did.
side-footed on his right foot in the first half as well. Like, that's got to be good for his confidence. Barnes getting on the score sheet for the first time in a long time, that's got to be good for his confidence. I thought Alanga was amazing. That's probably the best game he's played for us as well.
I'm going to be quite critical of Alanga here. Yes, he did have a very, very good game, but I thought he was a bit wasteful. Not the only one that was a little bit wasteful, and I could see why, because we were trying some neat 1-2s, which is not really kind of our style. It's normally just breakneck speed run at them.
It's not his style either.
It's not, no. So all credit for him for trying something new, but I thought he was a little bit wasteful in possession. And there's times when he would overrun the ball. And I do think even going back to his penalty, I thought he overran that one either. And the ball was way ahead of him before the tackle was made, which the defender probably would have hoofed clear. But yeah, he was very good. Definitely one of his better games, but he was still wasteful in possession. Still think his best game was that boss, I want to be honest.
Yeah, he was good in that one too.
Yeah.
He's I know he's really fast and things like that, but sometimes as a defender, he'd be really hard to defend because you don't want to sort of sit on him because he'll burn you and you're done. But if you sit off him, you're inviting him to run at you, which you probably don't want either. So it's a tough balancing act. And I think their fullback he was in 2 minds a lot. He didn't know whether to come up and clamp him or whether to sit off him and try and stop it on the way in. But yeah, I thought he was really good. I thought it was definitely one of his better games for us. And that's the thing as well, like him having a good game, that's got to be good for his confidence too. And yeah, so we've got one more game, the Forest game before the international break at home. They're not going great, which as an self-confessed Ange lover, as most Aussie sports fans are, I didn't think it was going to work from the start. I just thought it was a bad fit with the way he plays and the way they play with the players they've got. It hasn't started off great. Now, hopefully, he turns it around after the international break because, like I said, me and probably every other Aussie loves seeing him do well. And he's a bit of a flag bearer, I guess, for young Aussie coaches who are trying to sort of make their way. And he has sort of dragged a few along with him along the road. He was in Japan. He had Harry Kuehl and Kevin Muscat sort of working under him in Japan. Kevin Muscat took over and he's gone on to do some really good things in Asia at the moment. Wouldn't be surprised if he ends up the next Rangers manager as well. I think their manager's not going great, and Kevin Muscat's going from strength to strength. He had a couple of Aussies a couple of blokes who were from Australia, Nick Montgomery, and who else did he have? Mila Jednak. Mila Yednak's an Aussie. Nick Montgomery's a Scottish player that played in the A-League with Central Coast, who coached them as well. But he's really big on giving young Aussie coaches an opportunity, and he kind of feels like it's his duty, I guess, to try and promote Aussie coaches because it's so hard to get a gig in Europe if you're an Aussie coach. So I love the fact that he helps out as well. But I'd love it if we knock them over on the weekend. Don't care what the score is, just get the win, get into the international break, and then hopefully, all things going well, we'll get Ramsey and Visser back after the international break as well, which is another huge boost for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Filling out that squad depth is on the run up to Christmas as well. Those games come even thicker and faster. It's absolutely stupid, the Christmas schedule. Every other league in Europe, I believe, takes a break over Christmas. The Premier League is the only one that doesn't, which is...
Not only do they not take a break, they actually play more games than ever. It's actually the complete opposite ends of the spectrum.
It really is. It's absolutely crazy. And, Chelsea are already complaining that there's too many games and players already getting injured. But boo-hoo to them, for going to the Club World Cup earning 56 million quid for winning it.
You can't have it both ways.
Giving their players 2 weeks off. If they want to complain about injuries, they can go and complain to themselves because that was absolutely their choice. But other clubs who didn't opt in for that, who have to play these tough fixture sets. Yes, it's great to be in Europe. Yes, it's great to be in all the club competitions. But player welfare has to be taken into consideration before anything else. It just has to. Because we're seeing, I don't know if it's just me, but are you seeing a rise in ACL injuries in terms of players as of late?
There is.
A few more popping up.
Not even just that, mate. It's more longer-term injuries too. Like, I think there feels like there's more longer-term injuries now, whether there's more exposure on it and it's more front of mind than what it has been in the past. I don't know. I don't know the stats or anything like that, but it does feel like there's more sort of longer-term injuries, and that's where the value of someone like James Bunce's really paid for itself because, like last year, we had a really good run after a wretched year. The year before that, I think, Livermento's injury, you can't do anything about that. It's a contact injury. He was tunnelled. Even Wisser, he hadn't even really played for a shed or even trained, but that was away from the club, and it was a knee injury too, which is a more of a contact thing. I don't think you can do much in terms of things like that. Soft tissues, we've been pretty good, and I think a lot of that's down to James Bunce and his team and what they're doing in that sports science space. But yeah, do you think a result like last night can kind of kickstart our season a little bit, like it has been?
It has to.
It's been a slow burn. There's been obvious reasons for it. We've had a really tough start with our fixture. Is one thing. Our players coming in, they've taken a little while to get acclimatized and get up to speed and things like that. The Wisser injury and Ramsey injury definitely haven't helped them. And Big Nick come in late and they've kind of drip feeding him in. And that probably makes what he's been doing a little bit more impressive because he's come in late and he's kind of doing what he's doing. Yeah, do you think something like this is the kind of momentum pusher that they needed?
This has to be the catalyst to start our season. It just has to be. If we falter against Forest, then it's going to leave us not obviously in a bad position because the season's still very young and there's a lot of football to be played. But getting 3 points here, especially after the disappointment against Arsenal, It's a home game. It's an early kickoff, which is great for us because we don't have to get up at a stupid clock in the morning to watch it. I
Last
think it's
one
11
before daylight
o'clock,
savings too, so
11
you're going to make the
p.m. here.
most of it.
So yeah, it has to be the catalyst to get things in motion. Players are starting to click now, and it's looking good. And Forest, they've still got to play in Europe tonight as well. So their turnaround time is literally 48 hours there or thereabouts between that game finishing and starting or the early kickoff at St James's. So as much as I don't want to see players get injured or anything, I would really like to see Forest get the shit kicked out of them today. No serious injuries, just a few bruises, that sort of thing. Ran
You never
ragged for
wish.
the full 90 minutes.
There's
And
only
to be
one bloke I
absolutely
wish got
drained.
injured.
But yeah, Elliot Anderson obviously going to make another return to St James's. It's only a matter of time before he scores past us. The way he's playing lately, he's doing really well. But I do think we'll beat Forest. I said we'll go back-to-back wins, and I did predict a 3-0 win there yesterday, so I was very, very close.
Well, you take the dodgy penalty away, you would have been right, mate.
Absolutely. And it's another away clean sheet as well, which is an absolute bonus. No one's given us any credit for the defence because, we're playing
whole season.
A second-rate Belgian team. And I want to call them second-rate purely because the Belgian league isn't up there with Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, or anything like that in terms of the quality. But, they are a very, very good outfit in the league that they're in. I think we're only the first team to beat them this season. And we beat them comprehensively as well. So that has to be a positive. We've got to take that on board, use that momentum, carry it forward to the Forest game, and let's start chopping down some trees come 11 o'clock on Sunday night.
Absolutely, mate. Couldn't have said that better myself. But we might wrap it up there, mate. It's been good.
It has.
Real good. And it's
who was your man of the match, sorry? We need a man of the match.
Oh, man. Probably Big Nick. I know Alanga. I said Alanga was really, really good. Tonali was great as well, but Nick just he just done stuff that blew me away. Like, he probably wasn't my true man of the match, but he was my favourite player of the match because he made me sort of go, what? Well, and look, for everything Tonali did, I never rewound to watch it again.
It's just good to expect him to do it now, isn't it?
Yeah, which is a shocking thing that we're already taking it for granted how good he is.
Yeah, he's that good. So fucking good. But my man of the match, and I think this is well deserved just because it kept them from pressing against our goal and taking shots from inside the box. I'm going to give it a joint between Malik Chow and Sven Botman because I thought they were the closest yesterday.
Chow was great, and I'm glad that Bruno kind of pushed him a bit after the game towards the away end to get his flowers because he was great, and he looks like another shrewd signing, doesn't he?
Yeah. Like I said earlier on today, they get the two of them for 35 million quid before they hit their prime. That's a 70 million pound spend. When you consider Man United paid 80 million for old Slabhead about 5 years ago, that's cracking business when you think about it.
Yeah, crazy. But this is what they're good at. They're good at finding these players and getting him in and watching him just thrive under Eddie Howe and Jason Tindall and the rest of the coaching staff. So, yeah, good shout. Didn't mind Malik either. He's just a cool head. He just looks like a cool dude. Big Nick looks cool as well. Big Nick kind of looks like he doesn't give a shit about anything, which is also a really good place to be. But
and he looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo.
He does a bit. He looks like Tall Gordon with a goatee. All right, we're sick of no more lookalikes. That'll do. We'll be back probably, I reckon, Sunday night after the Forest game, and hopefully we've got some more good news and good results to talk about. Thanks very much, Craig. We'll see you next time.
No worries, mate. However, lads.
Get in.